Hello everybody and welcome back again to Let's Play Disco Elysium, where we have found this charming little bookstore with the not so charming bookstore keeper over here. We already did talk to her, however I may want to talk to her again because there might be one dialogue option that I didn't pick last time. I'm not sure if it's still there. And then we can maybe look around the store a little bit because I haven't done that so far either. So yeah, let's try to talk to her again first.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Okay, so apparently the dialogue option about the curse isn't there anymore, so I can't ask her about that. I wasn't aware that I was going to lose that dialogue option. It's not always easy to determine which dialogue option will like progress the dialogue tree and which are like different options you can take one after another, but okay. So let's look around a little bit. For example, what do we got over here?
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtain? Examine the strange cage-like trinket. Pull open the curtains. Yeah, let's examine the trinket.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you.
Well, that's weird.
This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges.
And who exactly are the Seminese?
Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south.
Yeah, I think we may have heard that before somewhere. I'm not entirely certain.
Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
So what exactly is behind these curtains?
Nothing. Why aren't you browsing the books? Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? You ought to.
I feel compelled to look at everything.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books.
Well, obviously she wants me to buy books because she's a storekeeper.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Well, maybe I should just pull them open and look behind them. I mean, I'm the police, right? I can do this. Or do I need some kind of permit first to search her premises? I don't know how the law works in this place, so that's a bit of a problem.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Her hand has closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with a talisman. Why is she so nervous about this? This is very suspicious.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
Parapsychologically speaking? What?
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Oh, this is about the curse. Okay, so I can ask her about the curse now. What is this about the curse? That's why you're afraid. Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. It's just a curtain. I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them. So yeah, is this about the curse?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
Yeah, she still seems kinda weird, so the more she tells me not to look behind it, the more I think that I should be doing it. Yeah, I'm a police officer. I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. Well, I hope so. I hope no one was killed in there.
I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
The powers? The powers of a curse, huh?
The curtains do seem frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. That's not really it. I'm just suspicious that she's so adamant about it. So I'm just going to continue. You can't stop me.
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
Extreme?
Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say.
All right, I guess I can do that.
The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
I guess I will talk to her first. I still find it very suspicious.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
So, why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side.
I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you.
Well, if it's just a storage room and it's nothing important, then it shouldn't be a problem if I take a look at it, right?
Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books.
Well, currently I'm drawn to that curtain.
She recites it like it's a poem, or like she's playing a role she's grown tired of. She's so tense, it's a miracle she hasn't snapped in half yet.
Why are you still talking about books? Are you trying to put a spell on me? If it's just a storage room, then why are you so tense? Exactly. If it's just a storage room, then why does it have a Seminese ward protecting it? That's also a good question. I mean, clearly she thinks there's some kind of curse attached to it, so that would explain the ward, right? If it's just a storage room, then it wouldn't hurt if I just peeked inside. It's not like it's cursed, right? Well, that's probably what she thinks. But yeah, let's boast with our encyclopedia here in the Seminese ward that's protecting the curtain.
It's just for decoration.
She wavers under your gaze, mouth pressed into a tight-lipped smile. Then something breaks.
Okay, fine. It's just because this place is cursed, just like everyone said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing.
Okay.
Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant. So I ruined it just by talking to you about it?
Host of hosts, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the curtains.
How does this curse manifest itself? Why didn't you just tell me right away it's a curse? Have you sought help from anyone? Yeah, how does this so-called curse manifest itself?
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around the dimly lit store.
It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
Okay. She peers at the curtains again. Okay, I'm a little confused. What does that mean? Annette mentioned that the previous tenants have experienced some financial troubles. Wait, that's it? I was hoping for something more paranatural. Yeah, I mean, Annette did tell us about this.
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supra-natural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements.
There are demons that feed off bad business practices and disappointing income statements? That is very bizarre, lady.
There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Why didn't you just tell me right away it's a curse? Well, I guess she didn't think I would believe it, maybe? Have you sought help from anyone? Would you like me to take the case? I could investigate, see if the curse is real. I mean, I have the suspicion that it's not a curse, but that maybe someone is trying to ruin whoever is working from this establishment for some reason. I mean, there could be a completely logical, non-supranatural explanation for this, right? Or maybe she's just bad at business, and so were the people that lived here before. Right. So have you sought help from anyone already?
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards.
She nods at the strange cage-like trinket on the curtains.
The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building. Even though now I fear, it's not enough.
Is your pendant part of the wards as well? Right.
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books.
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, it doesn't seem to be working, because I'm more compelled to investigate the curtain than buying books at the moment.
There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales. 15%!
Okay, this lady seems to be, like, very, very superstitious. Or is it suprastitious in this world? I don't know.
Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people.
Desert pygmy shamans, yeah. But I don't know enough about these people to, use a better term for it. So, would you like me to take the case? I could investigate, see if the curse is real.
Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be, so they can return to their slumber.
Okay, so she doesn't trust me with that kind of psychic stuff, which I guess is fair enough.
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective.
A para-detective? Oh, well, I actually have, I have a pretty high chance, even though I gave smart-ass parenting advice. Convince her to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. Sure, let's try it.
Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Wait, what if I don't want to lie? Ma'am, I came here to help. I've handled paranatural situations before. Okay, so basically I have to convince her that I'm an expert on this kind of stuff, which I'm clearly not. I'm not even sure if it is a curse. But again, I feel that there might be more to this that is not supranatural, so at least I can try to take the case. Whether I'm actually going to investigate is another question, because again, this might be a complete, distraction from my actual case. But let's try it. So I've handled paranatural situations before, and if I think about it, I may have handled paranatural situations before, and I just don't remember it. So there's that. This might not be a lie.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before.
I have returned from the void, a para-detective from a long line of para-detectives. I guess this is kind of true. I kind of started the game in the void.
You're no para-detective. You look nothing like one. And you're clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but...
You look like one.
Yeah, I do.
The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook.
I admit I've had my share of drinks, but only because the spectral realm is parapsychologically taxing. You see, it's necessary to drink the spirits in order to contact the void. I don't know. I like both of these excuses. Let's go with the first one.
How do you know all this?
Here we go.
Your wards brought me here in the first place. The Sebenny's blood also runs through me. I am the Void Revenant. I have the powers to debed all the bad energies. Yes, I can debed the bad energies. Exactly. A Void Revenant. That sounds pretty impressive.
I should have realized. A pattern lies within the fabric. The hand of fate guides us. Our meeting couldn't have been mere chance.
So, I guess she's actually starting to believe me now.
But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us.
No problem whatsoever. Your family is safe. The phantoms are no match for me. Just ask my partner Kim. He'll vouch for me. I've just met him today, and he's clearly not convinced that there's a curse, and I'm not sure if he's going to go along with my... We're trying to convince her that we can investigate this just to make sure that it's not something else, so maybe I'm going to pick the first.
If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it?
On my honor. Actually, I'm not really feeling the vibe anymore. The psychic force has left me. Well, I made it this far. May as well continue.
Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
All right, tell me about the entity.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
Of course I do. The entity. For I have sensed its presence.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney?
Chimneys aren't big enough for that. Chimney, the passage between heaven and hell, of course. Well, he certainly sounds convincing with all his supernatural rambling here.
Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there.
Well, that seems oddly specific.
Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it.
Okay, she just gave me a key. I'm sure that's going to be useful somehow.
Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there.
Right.
What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared.
Well, I guess we will find out. I may have a few more questions about the curse.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits.
I still have this question, but I'm not sure if this is important. So never mind.
The woman looks aloof.
Let's just investigate whatever is behind here.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
All right, pull the curtains open. Ooh.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Sebenny's wards. Your shadow looming over it like an omen.
Spooky.
Oh!
A small terrified owl escapes from Pleasant as she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. Go on, how difficult and scary can it be? Let's have a look at this. Okay, well, I mean, for now, it really just looks like a storage room. Let's see. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryers. What is this? A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Looks like Guillaume Le Mignon. That hair poster. Oh, that is the famous Guillaume. Okay. Interesting. Now, let's have a look at the door.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
Okay, I could break down the door, but I don't have to because I actually got the key. Well, I suppose I will knock on the door first.
Only an echo. No one is there.
Alright.
A hollowed-out, dark echo.
In that case, let's open the door.
After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
Okay, maybe you should go first, open the door and enter. Well, I mean, I got us into this, so I should be the one to go in first. Oh, let's see. Huh. Some kind of gym, and oh, do you want to talk to me?
What is this place?
It's an adventure. It's another world beyond the veil. Looks like a gym to me. I think this may be Artem Midhap's boxing club for young athletes. I have no idea what it is, but it sounds pretty interesting.
I think you're right, though it looks like no one's been here in ages.
Oh, this actually might be like the correct answer. I thought he was just making up some shit about this place.
I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
Right,
Some specks of dust shimmer in a ray
Flashlight.
of streetlight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark.
What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages? Let's just keep going. I'm sure it's just a regular abandoned house. Nothing mysterious here. Yeah, there might be a reason why no one's been here for ages.
Yes, because it's closed.
Okay, touché.
No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
Alright. So, I remember there was some advice how to use a flashlight. Equip this to discover secret orbs in shady areas. Let's put it into this hand. Ooh, okay. Ah. Interesting. I think I found something. Shot, put, ball. Oh, this is actually quite valuable. Sand is dripping from a punch bag. Anyway, can I have a look at that item I just found? A ball used for playing shot put, a favorite pastime of elderly gentlemen. You feel like you should hold on to this and make good use of it. To sell such beautiful old-school sports equipment would be a sin. But it's valuable and I kinda need the money. Investigate doomed commercial area. Yeah, let's continue with that. The poster says Citius Fortis, the rest is worn off. Or Citius. Got some weights over here.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them.
I'm not so sure about that.
There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars on the barbell. Notice collars. 8%. I mean, this kind of skill check just screams, you know, if you're going to fail it, you're going to lose some health. So, I'm going to stay away from this. So yeah, apparently it's a trap.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
Right. I agree. What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? It should be a felony. Actually, I don't care about safety hazards. Yeah, maybe you should, because you're not like the fittest person ever.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
Alright, we will refrain from attempting this kind of self-harm and just leave. Worn out wall bars, they look unsafe. Like pretty much everything in here. Smells like leather and sweat. Okay. Is there anything else around here? Okay, we can go through here. Ooh, here it's getting really dark in here. The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Oh dear, what is going on in this place? Got some animals in here? Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. A large demijohn full of strange liquid? Huh. Guess we can't investigate that liquid any further than that. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. That's a lot of random stuff in here. There's no rhyme or reason to any of this. Looks like the remains of the 24-hour window repair shop. Yeah, I think we saw that name on the door with all the bells, right? A naked mannequin torso, a strange yellow color. Ooh, more money. I'm getting somewhere. I mean, not very far, but it's money. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. Okay, maybe I'm going to check this out first. It's even more money. Right. Oh, hang on a second. But where are the clothes it used to display? Really? That's the first thing that comes to your mind? Where's the clothes of that mannequin? Ooh. What in the world is this? Before I take a look at that, maybe I can check out some of the other items here.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
The radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
He sounds surprised and a bit cautious.
What he means is that these things cost money. Why would anyone just leave it behind?
I have no idea.
This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120. Equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Do you think I should turn it on?
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
Okay, before I turn it on, I would like to look at some of the other things here, so let's step away for now. There might be instructions or whatever. For example, what is going on here?
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural.
Yeah, what kind of bearded elf is this over here?
Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
Alright, let's inspect the drawings.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins, casting wax-based magic.
Are these creatures real or based on some fantasy book or whatever?
Translucent welkins, with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins, hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space.
Also, I find it slightly disconcerting that apparently this thing is called Project Dreadboard. That doesn't sound ominous at all.
You should adopt one of those Wilkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a Welkin.
What is a Welkin anyway?
One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Alright, so examine that Welkin. It might be important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged.
A Welkin supremacist? How odd.
The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
I'm still not sure if these actually exist in this world, or if they're just imagination. I'm guessing the latter, though, because this is the first time we heard about them.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures.
Why would anyone spend so much time on this? Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions. Yes, I do. One of them is a Welkin supremacist. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the Welkins. Yeah, do you have any more info on Welkins?
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Okay, so they don't actually exist. I mean, I gotta ask. So why would anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for a game.
That's true. That's definitely true. And apparently one of them is a Welkin supremacist.
Mm-hmm. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
The lieutenant nods at the Welkin's facial hair. Yeah, that's quite the impressive beard. But yeah, let's move on from the Welkins. I'm not sure if this is important at all.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
Let's have a look at the photos instead.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones.
So, are these supposed to be references for this game or whatever?
You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world.
Of course, electrochemistry is connecting this to alcohol somehow.
A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
Okay, so this is part of the world that someone has been building here. Let's have a look at the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money.
Okay.
It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
Okay, so what happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Okay, so at first the project had like a very tight schedule, but towards the end it just fizzled out. Okay.
Looks like they didn't make it.
The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness. Indeed.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Alright, let's inspect the notes.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: Call in, tune out, Wirral untethered, and Heat death of the universe. The full text reads, Heat death of the universe is the new black. Another note says, the biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s.
Okay, apparently someone has been trying to make some kind of game here, but they didn't finish it. Interesting, but probably entirely useless for my investigation. Anyway, I will take a look at the computer later.
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
Hold on, how do I know what Kadran mosaic tiles are supposed to look like? Yeah, this wasn't even Encyclopedia who told me that.
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
So what exactly am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies of what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
So we're dealing with something medical here. This must be an elaborate piece of art. Of course, narrow your eyes. The anatomy of the curse. I don't know. I mean, clearly this is part of some kind of game development, so I'm not sure if this is really something medical. I guess it might be.
You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive airwidth. These things don't come cheap.
So, who's the game master? And if it's a game, then who's playing? Good question.
Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people.
Okay, an on-air game. This is kind of like this world's version of an online game?
A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency.
So if it's a game, then who's playing?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like.
Fascinating.
A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara.
Okay.
There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
Well, apparently they did for a while, but maybe at some point it was just too much.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
Well, that's some interesting meta-commentary, I'm sure. The cost of airwidth alone must have been huge. Why do you say that? Apparently because the cost of airwidth alone must have been huge.
Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Okay. So, what else?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Alright. What else do we got here? Scribbled across a notebook, developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. It's even called an RPG. Okay, maybe let's have a look at the quote-unquote computer now.
The dusty radio computer sleeps on its wired frame, forgotten and unused. Its keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
Alright, let's turn it on.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Alright, let's look inside the compartment.
It's empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
This doesn't seem right.
This is where the memory should go.
Oh, you apparently know how these things work, huh? So what happens if I press play? I mean, if stuff is connected, probably nothing.
Nothing happens.
Yep.
Something's missing. There's no tape in the player.
So what if I press print?
Nothing happens.
Press play again?
Nothing happens. Something's missing. There's no tape in the player.
But if I were to find a tape, I might be able to fix a computer. Okay, well, again, interesting, but currently useless.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Someone tried to exercise the curse using technology. Looks like an undercover counterintelligence program. It's just a failed business. The only question is, what the hell were they making? No time, let's move. Yeah, clearly they were making some kind of quote-unquote online game and it didn't work.
Yes, that is the question.
The lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
Okay, I'm listening.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
How were they planning to do that? Has anyone ever done this before? And this was a role-playing game. What do you think happened to the company? So how were they planning to do that?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio.
Right.
Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
So I guess no one has ever done this before, huh?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Okay, but this place doesn't have industry?
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
Right.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
So this was a role-playing game, you say?
Indeed. Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
Well, you seem to be quite familiar with it as well, so are you a role-playing fan, Kim? You can tell me. I won't judge. I like to play role-playing games myself, you know.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
Yeah, someone should do that. So what do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Right, so I guess at some point they just ran out of money, which would confirm, you know, the theory that all the companies in this place go bankrupt.
Indeed. It's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
They were insane if they thought they could do this. It was just a play to cheat money out of investors' pockets. Well, clearly it didn't work. The curse got them, I see no other explanation. The world is cold and lonely. This would keep it company. Let's finish it. Do we have any money? Let's give them more money so they can finish it and make it even bigger. No, we do not have money. We probably don't have the time to finish it. I mean, it would be nice if we could, though.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid.
The pipe's whole and the red crosses the floor. How sad.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Right, we probably should. I mean, this is very interesting, but again, probably not helpful at all to my main task, but we will still keep going. Oh, there's even more stuff going on here. And more money. And more magnesium. I will take all of it. Okay, it looks like properly exploring this place is going to take a while, but the episode is getting very long. So I guess I'm going to make a cut here and we will continue to explore this weird place the next time. So as always, thank you for watching and see you again next time.